They should have never let the Bears sign this player. A surprising addition just a few weeks ago has proven successful for the Bears secondary. Welcome to Bears Digest, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Dylan Guinzy. Thank you for joining me once again. If you have not subscribed already, please make sure to do so. 91.7% of watchers over the last month are not subscribed. So be sure to hit that bell and that button if you are a Bears fan and want those instant reactions. I'm going to be here with it every single day. So be sure to hit that button and that notification bell. So without further ado, guys, we are to week 11 of the season already. Cannot believe it. The Bears are sitting at 6-3 and second in the NFC North. As you see below me, the Packers pooped their pants last night against the Eagles on Monday Night Football, and the Bears are now second in the division and sixth in the NFC overall if we're talking about playoffs in the playoff race. So sitting pretty, all is good, but overall the Bears have to look at themselves in the mirror and focus on themselves going forward 1 week at a time. When you start looking too much into the future, that's where you get into trouble, and that's where you can kind of start to tank your season. So 1 week at a time, and that is this week against the Vikings, a huge divisional matchup to avoid going 0-3 in the division. That would not be good for the Bears. So we need to go out and get some redemption against the Vikings at their home turf, get to 1-2 in the division, get to 7-3 overall, and you're sitting in a really good spot going into the back half of the season. But without further ado today, what I want to discuss is a key addition to the secondary and some other items in the secondary that we can look forward to through the back half of the season. But one player in particular has performed exponentially greater than we all could have hoped for while we are dealing with this depleted secondary. So without further ado, let's pop right into it. The first thing that I want to cover before we get to this player is the Bears' riddled secondary. The injury designations have just been off the charts for the secondary this year, and a lot of people have already forgot that before the season even started, we were already in a massive amount of trouble there. So I just want to cover all of these injuries and what we've dealt with here just to start with. So Jaylon Johnson underwent surgery on a core muscle and has missed nearly the entire season, is believed to be out until at least late in the season. More on that later in the video. Kyler Gordon has missed all but 2 games while he deals with the groin and calf injuries. He can return as early as week 12 against the Steelers, which is next week. Terrell Smith is out for the season with a torn patella tendon. He is a very good depth piece. And that was a big loss, losing him early on there in the preseason. Za Frazier's out for the season with a personal issue. That was our draft pick this year. Dennis Allen and Al Harris loved him in terms of his traits and what he can bring to the table. And he's out for this year with a personal issue. Hopefully, we get more light on that next season. Tyreek Stevenson has missed 2 games due to various injuries, but he is back. Josh Blackwell left week 9's game against the Bengals due to a concussion. So that's just a short laundry list of everything that the Bears have been dealing with in the secondary this year, and it's been tough, right? Not a lot of teams can recover from this, but the Bears have kind of recovered from this. It's not, the greatest thing in the world, but there's a specific player that was signed a couple of weeks ago, and he has made a massive, massive difference, and that is this man right here, CJ Gardner-Johnson. He was signed, and he has been off the charts, everything that we could have asked for or hoped for as Bears fans and as the staff, I'm sure. It's come to fruition, and he made massive plays last week against the Giants and massive plays against the Bengals as well when we needed it the most, and we have not seen him get into any trouble with personal stuff or jawing after the whistle where he's getting penalties, any roughing or interference penalties. Like, we have not seen that from him, and this is usually a move that the Bears wouldn't have made in the past, and they did make it this time because they were desperate for some help in the secondary, and this staff is proven to be right in this case. And I think that's just kind of a difference in this year's Bears than previous Bears, is they wouldn't have signed a guy like this because of the character, and he also wouldn't have been able to fit in the locker room because we didn't have a locker room. This year it's different, right? Ben runs that whole thing. The players also run that whole thing, and they are all very close and tight-knit, and everybody is together, one as a unit, and it's working well that way because they have a solidified locker room, and you can trust that going forward. So amazing, amazing stuff there, CJ Gardner-Johnson. So Windy City Gridiron put out an article here this morning, just furthermore on this. The Bears signed CJ Gardner-Johnson a mere 12 days ago. mostly in desperation, and it's hard to believe the degree of impact he has already provided. Through 2 games, he has 12 tackles, 3 sacks, 1 forced fumble, and a ton of energy within a unit that was hanging on by a thread. So 100%. He has just proven to be an integral piece over the last couple of weeks. He made that forced fumble there on Jackson Dart, which effectively did, take him out of the game, but it was a great forced fumble, great punch out there. Had the sack on Russell Wilson late in the game. I mean, you can talk all about the offense and Caleb and how clutch he was and everything, of course, but CJ had a massive part in the Bears winning this game as well and came up really, really huge for the team when we needed him most. And this has been an awesome, awesome signing. There was a lot of teams out there that really wanted him. I saw a lot of stuff on social media here recently, especially when he's been doing good and Bears accounts were posting his stats out there. And a lot of other teams, like contenders, were like, oh, why couldn't we do that, right? Like, we didn't want to do it because he's a locker room problem. And other teams are now complaining that they didn't do it. And we get to reap the benefits of that. And that's something that usually we're on the other side of there. So awesome stuff there with CJ Gardner-Johnson. What I want to touch on as well is what does that look like when Kyler Gordon comes back? Because they do kind of play, sort of a similar style, a similar position in that nickel spot. So what does it mean when Kyler does come back? So he fits within the defense. His fit within the defense is obvious while Kyler Gordon rehabs a slot cornerback that can cover twitchy wide receivers, stand up physically to tight ends, and be an effective blitzer off the edge. But when Gordon comes back, a player who is largely the same scheme fit in Dennis Allen's defense, is there still room for Gardner-Johnson on the field? So this is something that we talk about here now with these two and Kyler Gordon, but also we have Asante Samuel Jr. visiting here today as of Tuesday, November 11th. He is visiting the Bears as well. So where does all this kind of fit into place if they are to bring more additions in and get more guys back healthy? That's all things that need to be discussed and thought of before bringing in other guys and everything like that. So what I want to bring out to now is a couple of the different packages and where we could see Kyler Gordon and CJ Gardner-Johnson on the field at the same time. So base package for Dennis Allen is dime. The personnel package number 1 would be 4 defensive linemen, 2 linebackers, 3 corners, and 2 safeties. In this situation, you have Tyreek as your lone outside corner. Kyler Gordon is strong enough in coverage to line up outside. You can line Gardner-Johnson at the slot where you can hand off a receiver to linebackers or blitz. Allen can mix up his coverages where Gordon can blitz off the corner and Edwards can cover a short zone, and Byard can cover deep zones. So this is kind of a package where you can still have Gardner-Johnson line up where he's been, playing at his best and where he likes playing the most. And Kyler is more of your more versatile piece, where Dennis Allen did say in the preseason and in the offseason that they were going to work him out in all different spots. So he is ready to play outside corner if he needs to. So that's definitely an option there to do with Kyler. The number 2 would be 4 defensive linemen, 1 linebacker, 4 corners, and 2 safeties. In this situation, you would sub out TJ Edwards and have Gordon slot in as a pseudo linebacker, where he covers the middle of the field but presents a unique blitzing challenge. He is strong enough against the run to manage things in Edwards' place. Nashawn Wright would still be on the field to cover an outside corner, especially in clear passing downs. This package is great if you need to max coverage on the back end, but still want to have several fast and capable blitzers off the edge. Gordon, Brisker, Gardner-Johnson, and Edmonds are all good in that role. So, of course, these are all options, right? And when Kyler comes back as soon as next week, that I think both of those guys will still be able to be on the field, when Jaylon Johnson is out. And I think, if Kyler comes back and he is ready to go and he is fully healthy, down the stretch of this season, I think a core piece of the secondary with Tyreek, CJ Gardner-Johnson, and Kyler Gordon is a pretty formidable secondary. And I would not be upset with that going into, the latter games of the season. That's an aggressive and athletic group for sure in the secondary. So would be very cool to see there. Very interested to see how this goes. Also interested to see how the Asante Samuel Jr. visit goes today as well. He is another corner that has the potential to be signed to the Bears roster if they want to do so. So all good things. I think the defense is obviously the weak point of this team, but we've had a lot of injuries. There's been a lot of stuff going on and going wrong. It's obvious that that's going to be the clear focus in the offseason, is really just targeting the defense and maybe your left tackle spot on offense. But defense is going to be the primary focus. I think they take edge in that first round if we're just looking at it right now. But defense is going to be the focus. But right now, we just got to find some answers and find some patchwork to get some guys in there that can really play high-level ball and get some turnovers still and kind of play a bend, don't break defense. So awesome stuff there. Just wanted to point out CJ Gardner-Johnson here today. He's been absolutely terrific for the Bears since signing here just a couple of weeks ago. But of course, thank you guys for joining Bears Digest once again. We're going to be here all week with pre-game coverage, injury reports, and everything like that. It's all going to be here on Bears Digest. So thank you for joining once again. As always, bear down.